Hello, Scorpio and Taurus. Welcome back to the One Akashic. I'm Natalia, and I'm going to be doing a bonus love reading all about Scorpio and Taurus. This is a really spicy matchup that's been showing up in my cards, and so I love to pursue those spicy matchups for anybody who's interested. And remember that even if you're not a Taurus or a Scorpio, if that falls under your moon sign or your rising sign, you can still cross watch for it to see you and your partner's compatibilities and what's going on between you guys. I am a Libra and I am a Cancer moon, I believe, or a Cancer rising, something like that. And I almost always identify with my Cancer sign more than any other sign. In some different situations, I definitely identify with Sagittarius readings more because I'm also Sag moon or rising, but I always identify with Libra. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, Scorpio, you are starting with Temperance. This is strong Sagittarius energy, but this reading is about you and Taurus. Okay, now Scorpio, you could be interested in a Sagittarius though. That is another matchup I'm thinking about pursuing because I have been seeing a lot about Scorpio and Sag being like in a thing. Sorry about all these little things on the floor are dried Play-Doh from my baby. All right, so what I'm seeing here is that Scorpio is trying to mix two things that don't really belong together. And I say that because of the way that this is clarified, okay? Normally seeing the Temperance card, I would say, all right, well, this person is skilled at bringing things together that don't belong together successfully. But in this case, I feel like Scorpio is saying this can't mix together. I can't make this work, okay? Even though Temperance is not in the reverse, okay? Because that Temperance card is clarified by the Tower in reverse, the Three of Pentacles in reverse, and the Two of Pentacles in reverse. And I checked my deck to make sure that my deck was upright, and it sure was, okay? So these cards absolutely meant to come out in the reverse. So I really feel like Scorpio is thinking, I'm not building with this Three of Pentacles in reverse. I am not building a faulty tower. I am not building a tower that's going to crash and burn. I'm going to avoid this at all costs. And I am not even vacillating about this. This is nothing that I have to figure out. I know exactly what it is that I'm going to avoid, and it's this relationship. I'm so sorry to say that. If the energy is flipped, flip it, Taurus. It could be that you're the one that's feeling this way about Scorpio. The Tower card is clarified by none other than the Temperance again. It's like it's saying, I could try to mix this together as much as I want to, but it's always going to result in a tower moment, in like something happening really crazy in my life, in this beautiful thing that I'm trying to build falling apart. And so, I feel like Scorpio saying Temperance is not the answer here. Time isn't going to fix this, and mixing two things together that don't belong together, probably isn't going to work. The Three of Pentacles in reverse is clarified by the King of Wands, guys. The King of Wands here. Now, in love, when the King of Wands shows up, even in the upright, I consider the King of Wands to be a real skirt chaser. But in this instance, I feel like the King of Wands is deeming this Three of Pentacles structure not worthy of putting any effort into. That's the King of Pentacles. That's Scorpio saying, I firmly believe and stick to my druthers about this not being worth an effort, okay? And with the Two of Pentacles here and the Strength card, I really feel like, Scorpio is just saying, you don't have to coerce me into not, like not wanting to pursue this. Like I strongly feel like this isn't going to work. Okay. So right now, I really feel like Scorpio is just like, yeah, maybe there at one time I thought this was working out, but right now Scorpio is thinking, no, not really. And Taurus, if this is flipped, flip it, please, because this happens in tarot all the time. So Taurus is showing up as the Magician, and this is strong Gemini energy. So some of you guys could have Gemini placements. We also got the Lovers in the reading, so yeah, there could be some strong Gemini placements here. And we've got the Three of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles here. So I feel like Taurus is like, what's Scorpio thinking? What's Scorpio doing? I feel like Taurus knows that Scorpio is like on their way out, but they're just hoping and wishing that Scorpio will not leave. I feel like they know that Scorpio is looking at another prospect here. And I do feel like Taurus was kind of thinking like, damn, like I really feel like I could have invested with Scorpio. But I also am getting a lot of indication that Taurus felt like they could get money from Scorpio. And I'm so sorry to say that. If that's not your story, don't take it. But there are some Tauruses out there who were thinking, I'm with a Scorpio. The Scorpio knows how to make money. And I think I might, love them for sure. But also, like I think I want to live a certain type of lifestyle with them. And I am not saying that that's wrong. I'm just saying that's what you were thinking. Okay. So I asked, like, why didn't this work out? And so I got the judgment card here. Okay. So the judgment card could mean that, somebody made a judgment about the relationship, but it also could mean that a reconciliation with someone else is looming here. So we've got the judgment card clarified by the Page of Pentacles, which for all intents and purposes could be Taurus, but I actually think that this is just about, I think that the judgment is being made about whether Scorpio wants to work towards, like an everyday kind of grind in a family type of way. I think that is what Scorpio is like. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. And I do think that there may be a child involved here. We've got little children in the Ten of Cups here. We've got the Eight of Pentacles here. So somebody may have started an apprenticeship. That's literally what the card means. But I'm also seeing day to day, day in, day out, doing the same thing over and over again. And, parenting is kind of like that. I feel like maybe I've gotten other readings that I haven't posted that sort of suggest that, Scorpio and Taurus are doing a thing right now. And for some of you Scorpios and Tauruses, Taurus has gotten pregnant, let's say. So maybe in those specific situations, Taurus is the female. And Taurus is sort of saying like, hey, Scorpio, step up to the plate. Like, let's start a family. Let's do this. But in some of my readings, it's showing that even Taurus doesn't know whose baby it really is. Now, that is not this reading. That is other readings that I have gotten that I have not posted. And I haven't posted it because of that. Like, I'm not trying to like ruin anybody's family situation or anything like that. But it just keeps coming up. It's almost like Scorpio is like, I kind of get the feeling that this is what Taurus wants, and I don't want that yet. So additionally, we've got the Two of Swords here, okay? And the Two of Swords is in reverse. So there is a moment of clarity here that a third-party situation is not something that, like someone in this relationship doesn't want. It's not something someone in this relationship wants. This person, whoever this is about, is thinking, hey, I just want to be in a relationship with one other person. So now we've got an indication that there's like a third party thing going on. Okay, so let's clarify that a little bit. So please, Spirit, tell me about the Lovers here. Ten of Wands. One more, please. Ten of Wands, Five of Wands, Nine of Pentacles. So we've got tremendous challenges, obstacles, and struggles that, end up in the Nine of Pentacles. So somebody being very financially secure. I feel like at the root of this is an issue about money and responsibility. And I feel like maybe Taurus, perhaps you're coming on kind of strong about what you want with Scorpio. And I feel like Scorpio is like, look, I just want to live in the Nine of Pentacles energy here, in a solitary energy here. I want to have love, but I want to have love like without, without compromise, without other parties, without children, without family situations, without other people chiming in. I don't want to struggle in love. I just want love. Okay. With the judgment energy here too, there may be another person that's on Scorpio's mind as well. But I don't see any evidence of another person being in the picture here. It just looks like maybe, it just kind of looks like maybe Scorpio is like, look, you're cool and everything, but I don't want to be in a family situation. And it kind of looks like Taurus is like, yeah, I'm looking for that one. I'm looking for the one to be in a family with. And for some of you, I've even gotten that Taurus is in a family way and kind of trying to put it on Scorpio. So just, everybody out there, be careful on if Taurus, if this isn't your reading, it's not your reading. Okay. Every sign has people that are doing good things. Every sign has people that are doing bad things. If you're a Taurus who's doing great things, this isn't your reading, obviously. Okay. All right. So let's just get one more card to see what the outcome will be with everything that we know here between Scorpio and Taurus. So the outcome is going to be the Two of Wands. So in this very moment, I feel like a decision is going to be made about this relationship. And it all depends on whether you guys are on the same page. Do you want the same things? Do you have the same goals in the relationship? I feel like Scorpio is kind of like, hail to the no, we don't. So I feel like the energy of the relationship is leaning more towards, things not working out. But let's get one more clarifier for that. Very quickly. Okay, this is happening quickly, this decision. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I absolutely suspected that there was another person in the situation, and I do think there is, Taurus. And I've gotten other readings about Taurus being really, really upset because they feel like their Scorpio is moving on towards somebody else. So here we have the Queen of Wands, the other woman. The Queen of Wands is often considered to be the other woman in tarot, but I think that she's just somebody that, like Scorpio right now is just very attracted to. We've got the Moon here and the Page of Cups. So it looks like Scorpio doesn't know what's going to happen with this Queen of Wands, but Scorpio would rather go towards the Queen of Wands than stay in a relationship in which there isn't an outcome that they want, which is family. Okay, so that's not to say there aren't a ton of Scorpios out there who are who are not like just dying for a family situation, but in this instance, for this reading, that's what's going on. Okay, so I've tried to be as sensitive as I can about this. If the reading resonated with you, hit like and subscribe, and peace.